Hi guys! So I've been thinking about redesigning the map guide series I planned, as I did not like the pilot that much, to be honest. The new format is much more condensed, and it will be focused primarily on the best starting hull-down positions and later on also on the best sniping positions for each map. I've come to realize that this game is all about positioning, so hopefully you might find some ideas here to fully utilize your tank strengths on all of the maps. We will start with 6 maps per episode. Please let me know if you would like to increase this number for the next videos. So today we will have a look at Airfield, Ensk, Fjord, Highway, Himmelsdorf and Lakeville maps in all game modes available in public games. These are the starting positions I did find the best for me for the tanks with a strong turret and weak body. By the way, by no means do I suggest that you should camp in the same position until the end of the match, but this should help you out to start in a strong position and then move ahead to hopefully also hull-down positions later on as the battle develops. But enough of me rambling about, let's kick off the new format with looking at my favorite starting hull-down positions on Airfield. The main brawling point for heavy tanks is of course here on the west, around the hills next to the airfield. Starting from the south, the ramp leading up the main hill is nice and flat, ideal for tanks with a strong turret. I like to stay on the ramp and let the enemy peek out from behind the corner on top of the hill. Just watch your left flank as enemies can come up and try to take side shots from the direction of the runway. Starting from the north, I did find the ramp on this side to be too steep to have a good hull-down position. You would have to reveal too much of your soft lower hull when peeking over. If you just have to use this ramp, stay on the very right side, which is a bit better. So instead, I usually sneak up next to the rocks on the runway and flank the enemy from this much better angled ramp. The rocks here should provide cover from the snipers located at the bottom of the airfield, but you have to be aware of possible flankers yourself and of possible tanks hiding in the bushes on the other side of the runway. Next up is Ensk in encounter mode. As the battle usually unfolds in the east, we are best positioned here as well. Luckily, this hilly landscape is a paradise for hull-down positions from both sides. My favorite spot starting from the north is behind this little house with the bushes and tent next to it. You have excellent shots on the defenses in front of you, and you can also take shots towards the railway on tanks moving up between the buildings. From the other side, there is actually a great TD sniping spot on the little hill with a bush on it, just next to the side of the map. From here you can take great shots as well, both to the front and in between the buildings, and it is an ideal starting place before moving up. However, this place is usually occupied by tank destroyers. So if this is the case, I usually move here next to the most western houses, as the hilly landscape in front offers good protection and you can actually gradually move forward while staying in cover. In all cases, always watch your flanks from sneaky shots from between the buildings next to the railway. As for Ensk in standard battle mode, the usual spot is between the buildings. The place is a real meat grinder though, and less ideal for a tank with a weaker lower body, especially if you are in a higher tier match. In these cases, I recommend the destroyed buildings as a starting point that should give you great side shots on enemies moving up to flank the sides. Later on you can disengage and move up to flank yourself or protect the open road next to the railway. So from the north, I recommend this position on the right side of this little square, while from the south there is a place just opposite the previous one, allowing to cover the same area. We continue with the Fjord map, where typically heavy engagement zone is around the corner of the mountain, luckily supporting hull-down positions from both sides. This allows to support the flank effectively even if you are not top tier. Starting from the north, I suggest sticking to the rocks behind the bush line and peek out from under the trees. On the opposite side, there is a nice little depression on the ground at the waterfront that allows the same from this side. Just be careful not to reverse back in the water. Moving sideways along the ridge can be a good idea here. Next up is Highway. That can be tricky for heavies with a soft body, as you are pretty much expected to brawl in the city, which would cause you to forfeit your main strength, using your turret to deflect shots. This is especially true when being in a lower tier machine. There is a solution to this, however, from both sides. From the north, I like to take a position on the hill next to the railway leading into the city. From here you can take side shots on the heavies moving up to town, and you can also keep the railway area under fire. From the other side, I like to start from next to the water tower, also outside the city, as there is a little nice depression here in the ground, just around these trees and bushes. From here you can move up to the forest, where you can easily get hull down too, while having shots into the usually heavily contested factory area. From either side, this is actually a good entry point to start your flanking moves from. Just be careful if you are revealed, as snipers and arty from the other side of the little river will make you a priority target. We continue with Himmelsdorf, discussing both standard battle and encounter mode together, as it plays out quite similarly for tanks with hull down preferences. Our priority, in both cases, is the hill. However, there are major differences between the two sides. If you are starting from the south, the hill itself is nicely sloped, and it will give you excellent shots on the enemy on the other side. If, however, you are starting from the north, peeking over the ridge is not a good idea, as you have to expose way too much of your squishy body in front of the whole enemy team. From this side, you need to slip past the ridge and take up position next to the castle, where you can work a nifty little depression and flank the enemy from there. If you decide, however, that there are enough tanks already on top of the hill, or you start from the north and see that you are too far away from the ridge to be able to sneak past the enemy line into position undetected, there are actually good positions under the hill as well. From both sides, you can use the rubble to get hull down and protect this important road effectively. And last but not least, let's have a look at Lakeville, first in standard battle mode. Here the choke point at the mountain pass was just made for you, and you will have excellent games here if you are careful. Both sides are equally good, and from both sides I prefer the right side of the choke point slightly better. Just be careful when you are ready to push over the ridge, as both sides are well protected by TDs and SPGs, and running into an enemy kill zone like a headless chicken is never a smart move. When in encounter mode, the importance of the mountain pass is greatly diminished, and you should rush to the city where the cap circle is. Unfortunately, the city is more of a brawling base for tanks, with good all-around frontal protection, but there are some good positions here too, so you don't have to rely on side-scraping only. From the north, if you manage to secure the area around the church first, you are in a really great position, as there are great hull-down positions on both sides around the church. As these are in the open, however, you need the support from the team to be able to work it unpunished. From the south, it's a bit more tricky. Here I suggest to use the rubble as much as possible when approaching from the southern streets leading into the center, or you could stick to the red line behind the corner house and the rubble on the street at the side of the map and peek out from there. So that was it with the new format for my map guides, looking at the best starting hull-down positions in the first 6 maps. I hope you did like this format, and please make sure to comment if you think I missed a good spot for the beginning of the battle in these maps. If you would like to see more, please don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you soon in one of the next videos.